Now to the war against fentanyl, the synthetic opioid found in many illicit drugs that is responsible for roughly 70,000 deaths in America each year. ABC News was given access to ground zero in the fight today, a warehouse near the Los Angeles International Airport where U.S. Customs and Border Protection are scouring packages, not only for the drug, but for the components that help make it. For more, I want to welcome in ABC's Mireya Villarreal. Mireya, this is part of an organized effort, right, to crack down on fentanyl trafficking. Tell us about what they're calling Operation Artemis.
Hey, Steph, so this was a program that was created by the Department of Homeland Security. It launched back in June, and yeah, one of the focus points, one of the sub-hubs is actually the LAX area, and that is because this is one of the largest airports in the country and also one of the largest airports as a port of entry for air cargo. They were telling us that they get over 35,000 pieces of cargo every day, and in a lot of cases, they only have about 2 hours to scan a package from the moment it kind of comes in to really from the moment it needs to get out the door. And that has a lot to do with the consumer, right? We got to get those packages out to people. One of the things that they are looking for, as you mentioned, was the precursors. So we're not necessarily looking at fentanyl in its pill form exactly. They are actually looking for the ingredients, the components, and even the equipment to make fentanyl. So something like pill presses, for example. And they're also focusing on packages that are coming in from China as well.
And we want to make sure viewers know where you're reporting from. You're in Dallas, and you also cover the southwest border. Is LAX the only front line in this fight?
One of the areas that we are seeing a large uptick is the southwest border. So an area that we are often covering in the Texas region. We actually saw that the Department of Homeland Security acting Deputy Secretary Christy Canigallo actually went down to the border recently to see exactly what CBP, what Border Patrol agents are doing on the ground.
So, for example, I was just down in El Paso and saw individuals were hiding fentanyl in spare tires or in car wells. One thing that we see here in the air cargo domain is folks who are shipping things, again, in cartons that are labeled as something else. So anything from keyboards to child's toys, there is no end to the creativity of the cartels and the smugglers, and that's why we have to be just as innovative, just as creative, and just as dogged to disrupt this effort.
So, Steph, I think what we're really seeing is an all-out effort across the country on different levels. I mean, obviously, we have the federal government working here, DHS, with this particular operation and this, huge warehouse that they had that they let us into to let us see exactly what was going on the ground. But really, this is a push, at the state level and even local levels as well.
And this crisis is getting so much attention that it deserves, but this crisis has also taken such a toll on so many different generations, from adults to teenagers. What else is being done to protect teenagers especially?
Steph, you and I both have children, young children at that, and I think that is a big focus right now, especially here in the Texas area. Along the highways, nonprofit organizations are actually taking the fight to the streets. Literally, they are putting up billboards all around the state to try and warn people in any way they can that this pill in all of its forms is deadly and can kill, and it has taken a number of young victims. I was just speaking with several different school districts here in the Dallas-Fort Worth region. Many of them are stocking up on Narcan right now. They're putting out education programs, not just for students, but for the parents as well, because that is where also education is lacking, is being able to tell parents exactly what fentanyl is and the fact that it isn't just fentanyl in a pill form.
So incredibly dangerous. Thank you so much, Mireya, for shining a light on this. And